speaker is a professor, highly regarded gay rights campaigner and author. His first published book in 1971, Homosexual Oppression and Liberation, inspired many gay rights movements around the world. He is on the record of having opposed same-sex marriage, arguing why on earth would a free-spirited community want to aspire to the construct of marriage, and that there are many other things more important to be fighting for. But like so many, and you don't get from 25% support a decade ago to 72% today without people evolving. And so in doing so, we are thrilled to finally have a pioneer of Australian LGBTI rights speak for the very first time on the Equal Love stage, Dennis Altman.
I said, we have the same right that Julia Gillard has not to be married. And I've always said that the law enshrined in 2004, which requires every marriage ceremony to read out the phrase, marriage exists between a man and a woman, is deeply discriminatory. But if I had any doubts, we can thank Tony Abbott and Erica Betts and the rest of the gang for having put those doubts to rest this week. And not only because they have rejected marriage equality, but because in the language that they are using, they are actually giving permission for prejudice, for bigotry, and for new forms of homophobia. And in the language we hear, and in the language that is now being put out on the airwaves by anti-equality groups, what do we see? We're seeing attacks on the families of sexually and gender diverse people. We are seeing the children of lesbian and gay parents being told that they are failures. We are seeing discrimination based on religious teachings being defended as somehow protected by freedom of speech. So marriage equality has now become a symbol of something much bigger. It's become a test, as Bill Shorten said, of who we are as a country, of our ability to acknowledge and recognise diversity, of our ability to embrace the fact that there are in Australia a multitude of cultures, of families, and we cannot be stopped because of the traditional biases and bigotries and prejudices inherited from the past. We've had a lot of discussion today from politicians. As both Bill and Richard know, I am notoriously bisexual in my politics. I'm not, unfortunately, in my sexual practices. My apologies for that. I really fall very heavily in the G letter of the LGBTI letters. But in terms of my politics, I can speak as someone not connected with either of the political parties who've spoken to you today. And the reality is that if you care about marriage equality, you cannot now vote in all conscience for a member of the Liberal Party, even if that person personally is committed to changing the Marriage Act. Because the Liberal Party has taken a collective decision to bind their members. Think of the oddity. They want to spend millions of dollars on a plebiscite so everybody in Australia can express their views, but they don't have to express their views. Julie Bishop, who is the deputy leader of the Liberal Party, has never come out either for or against marriage equality.
Shame!
So the irony of saying constantly, we want everybody to have a voice, from politicians who refuse to tell us where they stand, is exposed for us all. I want to make two political points. One is, and it's been made over and over again, a plebiscite is unnecessary. There are many issues on which it might be useful to have a plebiscite. Euthanasia, for example. And I would strongly support changes to our laws on euthanasia. And like marriage equality, it's an issue where we know what the majority of people think. But we live in a parliamentary democracy that does not resolve these issues through plebiscites or referenda. Secondly, I think it's important for us to acknowledge the difference between those people who are using the marriage debate to foster hatred, bigotry and ignorance, and those people who are genuinely confused and puzzled. And we need to go and talk to them. I was very taken by Luke's appeal to you all to get out your mobile phones. I took mine out, that it went on to Grindr. And thank you. Many of you in this crowd were also, I noticed, while Luke was exhorting you, were sitting on Grindr, which says a lot about where we are as a community. But I want to make one final really important point. Our love, our feelings, our commitments, our families are as valid, as worthwhile as those of everybody else. And while the law needs to change to reflect that, we do not need the law to tell us that we are equal. We know we are equal, and we are equal no matter what the current government or the current churches try